honor, although I must say Meco invited me earlier last year. And I'm sad to say that it took a little bit of time, but I'm happy nevertheless. Thank you. We've had a lot of speakers tonight, this afternoon, and you've heard a lot of insights, right? You've heard a lot of insights, we've had a lot of advices, what to do, how to do it, when to do it, why we're here. And I guess really the message is it's not for everybody, but you have to really pick and choose what's good for you. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit of my story as well. Just remember that success does come in different forms. Okay, yes, I represent very structures to the private sector. I'm a little bit ashamed of that after hearing man for others and people for others. But I do bring with me, a lot of the developmental part as well that I took from here. When I started with film asset management, I'll tell you how I rose to being this, but what was very critical for me was when I assessed the organization that I now lead, is I took a look at the roster of people that we had. Okay. The aspiration for my organization is to make it the premier wealth management organization within the country. Okay. What that meant was I needed to have premier people. Okay? I needed to have premier people that could take, because I can't do it alone. I can't, have a few other people. It had to be as an organization. I took a look at the roster and I was a little bit disappointed to see that not 5% of the organization came from the top 10 schools. Or, so that quickly had to change. I've been around for about 20 years in the private sector, in the corporate sector, in the top organizations of the country. And yes, it's been an experience that top people come from the good schools. Or you've got the second tier schools, but they're the magnas, the summas, the cum laudes. And you know that it's economics that has brought them to the second tier. Who wouldn't want to be in your shoes? Tell me. Right? Who wouldn't want to be in your shoes? First of all, count yourself very blessed, very fortunate. You hear that all the time. I'm sure you do. Right? Whether you're a scholar, whether your parents have brought you here, whatever it is. You hear that all the time. 20 years after I graduated, I'm still called an elitist. And he's trying to change that. That's really, that's the reality. Don't be comfortable in it because you will not be judged based on that alone. You have to go further than that, obviously. Okay, it's not a laurel that you will just rest on. Okay? You hear that, right? Don't be cocky. Don't, and it's true. Okay? So let me just tell you the story about how we're evolving in the company. That maybe it's an option for you. I interview. I get very involved in the interviewing because at this point, I want to be confident about the people that we're bringing in. Whether it is to have 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whether it is to have an extensive discussion with the candidates, I get involved. Yes, here's side stuff, right? I assess confidence, not cockiness. There is a very big difference between being cocky and not knowing what you're talking about and just kind of giving me all of these conceptual ideas. I don't like that. I like being able to specifically know whether you're technically inclined. Okay? I look at confidence because assertiveness is a big factor in the business world. You can be the brainiest person, but if you cannot articulate yourself and you cannot face in front of seniors, it's going to be a difficult fight. I will tell you that. Okay? But it has to be a balance. It has to be a balance between technical skills, personality, and background. I also have instituted writing. It's a disappointment today, and I hope it's not true for this school, that the writing skills out there are just horrible. They are incredibly horrible. I don't know whether that's the advent of the text or whatnot, but please pay attention. Okay? Don't take these for granted. You only have one chance at interviews. It's a make or break. And I tell you, I kid you not, impressions make a difference. Okay? And I do. I interview fresh graduates for sales jobs, for operations jobs, for whatever have you, because I just want to make sure that whoever it is that we involve or invite into the organization, we're going to spend a lot of money on you. We want the returns. Okay? So it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, yes, it could be a legal management degree, it could be an academic degree or education, but these are your basic precepts when you're entering the world. And I kid you not, there's a far, far bigger world beyond Katipunan. It's true. It's really true. All right. So having, I just thought I'd give you that little bit. How many are you are seniors? Ah, all right. Very nice. Juniors? Okay. All right. And sophomores and freshmen? All right. You guys have a little bit more time. All right, but not too much. Don't take your time too much. I started out not a legal management major. I apologize. I started out as a philosophy major.
Whoa.
Very hell bent at being a law student. Going into law school, Ateneo was the way. My father's an Atenean, my brother's an Atenean. There was no other school but Ateneo.